I say, how are you doing today? How are you doing today? You already know I am your host, Lacey G. Souldier Turner. And today we are here with a special guest, man. He done so many things. He's still doing things, man. He done acting, radio broadcasting, a creative designer from Afro World, Hair and Fashion, was the CEO at Little Victories Enterprises, used to advertise at the Jet magazine. I found out about that too, plus much, much more. We got the amazing, wonderful, talented Victor Little, man. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, brother. Really appreciate you inviting us to the show today.
No problem. So my first question, for the people who don't know, where were you born and raised?
Awesome. Well, that's a pleasure to talk about because I'm a Motown baby. So
Mm,
I was born in Detroit, Michigan, and I was born in '56. So I grew up in the '60s.
mm.
So it was really a great time because it was the beginning of Motown. So I feel like I got a lot of that energy in me, even though I was raised for the most part here in St. Louis.
Hey, the Temptations, that's one of my favorite groups, you know what I'm saying? Hey, and I watch they movie, they series all the time. I know about heart.
Yes, yes,
Anybody
yes.
coming to see you, Otis? No. So I know you've been in St. Louis for a while. So for the people who haven't been to St. Louis, can you tell? Because they say, oh, they the top murder rate and all this type of stuff. Can you tell anybody who hasn't been to St. Louis about our city?
Well, that's really beautiful. St. Louis is a great city, and I agree with you. We do get a bad rap sometimes, but
Mhm.
having lived here the majority of my life and experiencing all different sides of St. Louis, there are really some great things to do here in St. Louis. But more importantly, there are some great people doing some things to kind of change the way things are going in both our communities and in politics. So I'm really proud of St. Louis. We have a lot of sightseeing, we have good people here, and we have great
Mhm.
restaurants and entertainment. So it's a great
Facts.
reason to live here and to come visit.
Facts. All right, so I know I done looked you up. I know you very knowledgeable. So can you get some people, I guess, some information on your education background?
Well, I am very proud to say that I grew up growing up here in St. Louis. I went to Wellston Public Schools. I uh, of course, have a lot of friends from that era growing up in the 60s and the 70s. During my sophomore year, I actually got an opportunity to become a part of a program called A Better Chance. This program allowed me to change schools. So I went from school in Wellston, Missouri, to Williamstown, Massachusetts. And because it was a scholarship based program, and I got to go and actually do my last 2 years of high school at Mount Greylock Regional High School in Williamstown, Massachusetts, it was a phenomenal experience. I went from basically an all Black community in Wellston to a pretty much all white community in Williamstown. I really believe that was kind of the foundation for me to be able to understand the differences in economic responsibility, the differences in educational responsibility. And it really changed my focus as far as what I felt I needed to do to prepare myself to be a viable part of America, actually.
Mm. All right, so I also saw that you did some acting and stuff. So your IMDb page too. Can you get the people some information about that? How
So,
that came
so I
along?
think I've been acting all my life. I think part of being in the Black community is that there are so many animated things and characters that happen in our community that
Facts.
we kind of like feel like we don't stage pretty much all the time.
Facts.
But for me, man, acting is my greatest passion. I love retail. I love fashion. I love African clothes, but acting is my passion. It's what I do, and I've been doing it since I was a kid. My first introduction to acting was at church, and so I guess all of the soul singers say I grew up in church. Well, of course, my first speech, my Easter speech, my Christmas speech, all of those things initially helped me develop that confidence that I needed to stand in front of audiences, and then the beauty of the applause made me keep coming back for more. So uh, I I went to Central State University for college. At that time, I studied acting as well as business. I'm actually a business major, but I spent a great deal of time in the theater and in the acting department. And that's actually where I started to get lead roles, and I was able to start developing my talent as an actor.
Mm, right. So you done film also, right?
What was the name of it you said?
Not said you done film also, right?
Yeah, I've
So
had an opportunity to do some film. I guess one of the things that I think people in St. Louis will relate to is after I've spent a lot of time basically honing my career here at Afro World as a part of the Afro World community. But once I did get an opportunity to go to LA and really work in the theater and the film industry, it was phenomenal. It was what I had wanted to do all of my life. I didn't know if I'd never actually get a chance to go out there, and opportunities presented itself where I was able to go to Hollywood and actually get to play in both some major movies and some background roles as well. It was a phenomenal experience. I mean, being there, it's everything that us as young actors believe it will be, as far as the excitement of going to the auditions and showing up for acting classes and finding out what your talent pool looks like and finding out how to make yourself stand out among that talent pool. All of that was a very exciting opportunity for me. I trained with some of the best film teachers there. That was really exciting. And what's really cool is that sometimes when you're in class, you'll see actors that you see on TV every day, and you get an opportunity actually to be in class with them. So those were some of the things that I really got out of my Hollywood experience.
Hey, Victor, you know, I write and direct movies too, Victor Little. I'm gonna have to get you in one of my movies, man. I'm gonna have to
I
get
would
you
love
one.
that. I
So
would.
let me ask you this: what is the difference? Because people don't know it's a difference. What did you feel was the difference between doing theater versus film?
Okay, that's a great question. I did find a lot of differences. Many times people will tell actors there's no difference between film and TV,
It's
or
definitely
there's no
different.
difference between film and stage.
Mhm.
I didn't have that experience. Most of my experience had been on stage. And so I was getting immediate feedback from my audience. I knew kind of where I was going on this journey on stage. In film, you are, it's you and this camera, and you have to express in this very small frame emotions that you're used to using very big and exaggerated motions on stage. Now you have to kind of bring some of that, pull some of that back. And
Yes,
because you're on camera, you're on film, and you don't need as much
yes,
exaggeration to tell the
exactly.
story on film.
Yes. I tell people all that controlled aggression versus over the top, man.
Over the top, yeah. And actually, if we look at the people that we like as far as actors, you know, even the ones that win awards, it's those that are able to present themselves most naturally on film that we relate to the best.
Facts. I agree with that. So I want to talk about Afro World hair and fashions because you know that's been a staple in our community for a while now. Can you tell the people how that started and you know how's it flourishing right now?
Thank you so much for that question. I love telling that story because it's not my story,
Mhm.
but I think it's a story that everybody can relate to. One of the things that happened to me, number one, I'd like to say that the founder of Afro World is my father, Russell Sr. And to back up just a bit, when I was in college, my professor, Carolyn Wright, taught me a principle that sort of set the foundation for me understanding business. And it was find a need and fill it. And the little cuteness of that phrase doesn't really express the magnitude of what it means when we're talking about success in business. My father lost his hair really early, maybe 35 years old, and he was right in corporate America. He was upward and mobile at IBM. And he felt that as a young man, he didn't like this older look that he was carrying. So he went and he was actually looking for maybe some kind of toupee or hair replacement to help him look a little bit, more professional in his career. You got to realize too, this is back in the 60s.
Yeah.
My father is a Black man in corporate America. He's trying to make the best impression that he can. And, this is just at the brink of when corporate America stopped calling us boy and start accepting us as man. So you got to realize this is a very strategic time in our history. And so my father found a need to have a toupee. And when he went to the professionals that were available at the time, he found that the toupees that were currently available, you could look at a man 100 yards down the street and tell he was wearing a toupee or a wig because it was so poorly done. They thought that they could take the same materials that they use for Caucasian hair and use it on Black hair. They would glue that on your head and send you out that door, and you'd walk down the street looking like a plum fool. And everybody would know you had on a wig. And that was certainly not the look that my father was going to present at a young age. So he did come up with a technique. It was really during the time that the Black movement really started to take off. And in the 1970s, he developed a technique to create a very natural looking toupee for African-American men. It took off, and that was actually the beginning of Afro World. We became a Modern Man Hair Company, I believe may have been the initial name. And then my father again discovered the need for women and hair for weaving and braiding. And since he was already importing and exporting for the men's toupees, it just became another product that he was able to add to his line. We became the premier providers for hair for weaving and braiding throughout the country. And we, as you said, we were advertising in Essence at Ebony Magazine. And actually it developed the company into a multi-million-dollar organization.
Right. And I also saw, we had a crazy time during the pandemic, and I know that probably affected you, but I saw that y'all had created Mask Up with Afro World and introduced the African, wax print cloth mask. How did they come about? Was you inferred that Afro World was just for the sink and everything? So could you elaborate on that?
Would like to say that even after 53 years in business, I'm always afraid Afro World is going to sink. I mean, anybody who's in business and certainly have survived in business for 50 years knows that there are ups and downs that go along with business, and every day is an opportunity for you to shut your doors or to open your doors and invite the public in. And for over 50 years, Afro World has been very fortunate in that our community has been a tremendous support for keeping us alive. And we can't thank you guys enough. I mean, it's certainly a give and take environment when we say provide a need and fill it. We did provide a need for the hair for weaving and braiding, and for people to come and gather and to be a part of community, family, and progress. And that's what we have tried to do up at Afro World.
Nice. Look at that. Salute to you.
Thank you.
I also saw that you have the Victor Little Show, where you're an advocate, especially for Black health and wellness. A lot of people don't know that that's very important, especially in the Black community. Could you elaborate on your show and about Black health and wellness?
Well, the Victor Little Show is a part of the Smart People Network, SPN Media. I'm very proud to have the show. It was developed Bishop Michael Bates, the business bishop. He asked me to come and be a part of SPN Media, and I'm very grateful for it. My health challenges sort of mimic a lot of what goes on with African American health. And because I've been unhealthy and I've been overweight and I've been pre-diabetic, many of the things that impact our community. I had to make a decision on whether I was going to let that just continue or whether I was going to put some things in motion to change the direction of my life. I did go into the doctor. He told me I was pre-diabetic. At that time, I'm 5'10", and I was weighing 227 pounds. Mm-hmm. My parents are diabetic. My grandparents are diabetic. Every aunts, uncles, we go, we take relatives to have diabetes. We have to take them to dialysis. I knew all of these things that were going on, and I knew that I did not want that to happen to me. Mm-hmm. Now, it's one thing to see how things can turn out, and it's another thing to make a decision and make a change. Exactly. That's what I try to do on the Victor Little Show. We talk about Black health and wellness, but we talk about those real things. What I've seen when I was 25 is not the way I see life at 66 now. I'll be 67 next month. So I don't see things the same way. And if I could do anything to uplift, to inspire, or even to educate young people on how important it is to take control of their health and their life very early in their age, they'll live a much better life, much better quality of life in the long run. And that actually builds into the wealth cycle, because if you are healthy, if you are well, you are much more capable of creating more wealth, not only for you, but for your family, that you all can get yourself into a place that we were able to build ourselves into a place where we can feel better and do things more freely and together as a family.
Right, man. You see that, Victor Little dropping knowledge on you, dropping them nuggets. I want to ask you, how important do you feel it is to build business relationships?
It's the foundation. It's one of the foundations of business. I have to attribute my business success to my ability to develop relationships. I've developed very strong relationships with my vendors that I buy from, along with my customer base. My success comes from my ability to keep people coming back. Most people want to sell you something one time. They want to get you in the store. They want to sell you the highest thing in the store. They want to say goodbye. Yeah. And they don't care what you say about them. When you get down the street, you can say, oh my God, they cheated me. Oh my God, this product was lousy. They don't care nothing about that.
Nope.
Guess what? We care. So though many things in our store are very unique, and we have, so we've tried to build a product mix that would allow someone that just want to come in and buy some incense to spend $10, or someone that's looking for a more elaborate outfit for something like the Unity Ball, or maybe they're getting married. So we have a wide range of things that are available. And I think that is one of the keys to success. But my point is, don't look for the big sale. Find that need and fill it. What is your customer coming to your store for? What is it that they need? And they might not even know. They might not even tell you. But through a conversation, through a casual conversation, you can find out what is the motivation in their life. What is the thing that the need that they're trying to feel? Are they trying to make somebody else happy? Are they trying to make themselves happy? Is this a gift? Is this a special event? And you have those types of conversations, and you find out so much about people. And when they leave, they have something that's of value to them, because you discovered something about them and what their true need was. You've helped them through looking at the things in the store, find out what's going to satisfy that need. And when they get it, they know this is the right thing. I think that's important in business, that we're not there. I'm not there to rip anybody off. I'm not there. I couldn't still be in business. Somebody would have identified, oh, that place is a crook, and would have, long went somewhere else. I've had competition. I've had it where we were the only game in town. But for me, it's all about my community. It's all about me sharing the knowledge that I have. I'm a storyteller. So I think the greatest knowledge that I've attained in my life have come from my elders sharing their stories and their experiences with me. It's helped me become a better man. And I hope that the stories that I share with other people allow young people to have just a little easier time than maybe I had growing up through the 60s and the 70s. Maybe now we can find some ways to help them better understand how they can become more successful and live a more peaceful and helpful life here while they're here, while we're all here.
Yes, I want to ask you two questions, I guess pertaining to business. One from like a business standpoint, and one from a customer standpoint. So, what do you feel? Because I heard a lot of people complain about this. Like, they say a lot of Black people have businesses, and instead of like posting their prices, they ask them how much is this, and they'll be like, inbox me for the price, you know. So they'll be feeling like, oh, they trying to get over on me. They may be offering somebody this price. So do you think a business, I guess, should just have their prices set like, bam, this is it right here? Or, you know, how do you feel about that situation?
That's a great question. So I'm going to frame it around like this. When you go to the car dealer, are the prices on the window? You know, are you go to the price, you go to the car dealer, the price is not on the window. You got to have a discussion. Yes. When we go into a store, maybe the prices aren't on the thing. Yeah, that might make you feel some kind of way. But at the same time, I think we put a different perspective on going into a Black business than we do going into something that we're already very accustomed to. There ain't no big deal about no prices not being on nothing. We deal with that every day. Yeah. You know, you go into the grocery store, it might not be a price on something. That ain't gonna keep you from buying it. Exactly. What is your motivation for buying it? That's always the determining factor. Because if the motivation is great enough for you to buy something, you're gonna get it regardless of what price tag is on there. So that's one aspect. Now, you also don't want to be cheated. So yeah, exactly. I don't want to go into a place and I come in and the price is $12.99 and somebody else coming in and they can get it for $9.99. I mean, my money's important too. Exactly. So yeah, I do understand what you mean, but I want us to level the playing field. I want us to give just as much respect to African-American businesses as we do other businesses, you know, and I also want us to be a little bit more sensitive, you know, because of the stigma that a lot of people associate with African-American businesses, you know, or with Black business, you know, oh, they didn't do this or they didn't do that. Well, there are a whole lot of businesses that can't actually satisfy your needs. But, you know, we walk away from Walmart and we throw our hands up, but we go back. Walmart another try. We go back. You know, eventually. Yes, definitely. And all I can say is no, we don't have to pay for bad service. I deal with Black businesses all the time. Now that's the other thing. And I get great service. I not only get great service, I get unique products. I get tastes that match my taste buds. I get unique styles that look like me. I build relationships with other businesses so that when they need something that I know where it is, or when I need something that they know where it is, we can exchange this information and build up a network that will be able to better supply the needs for our community. I don't want to be the only game in town. I want to help. I felt that the best thing that ever happened in my family was that we developed as an entrepreneurial family. We are terrible employees. We are terrible working for other people. You know, we are genius at creating an environment for our own community, to help build our own community, to help make changes that truly impact our community. We're genius at that. Yes. But when you ask me to dress like, to look like, to be like somebody else's culture, I'm not very good at that. Exactly, I feel you. You allow me to be myself and to develop my community and my culture and myself in the way that best exemplifies my strong points. I'm a warrior.
Yeah.
You know, I can create anything. I can do anything. But we have to get back to those basics of understanding that, America wasn't created with me in mind. So they're not going to necessarily, and even today, as we watch what's going on in Washington today, they're not talking about what do Black people need.
Nope.
That's a conversation we have to have amongst ourselves, and we have to come together amongst ourselves, build that village, continue to build that village, and to make changes within our own community.
Oh man, that's well said. Well said. Do you have any, I guess, programs or things you're doing for the youth of the community?
So Afro World is always involved. We deal with a lot of different organizations to try to work through the community. Currently, COCA is one of my sister's big projects. We're entertainment families, so she works a lot with COCA. But there are so many organizations, actually too many for me to name, about the different organizations that we work with, customers that we've had for over 40 years. I'm now serving the grandchildren of some of my original customers. So that shows you just how long, and some of the grandparents have passed on, and their family members still come and support Afro World. So nice. It's been a wonderful journey. My sister, Sheila Forrest, is the president of Afro World. It is because of her leadership and her commitment to the community and Afro World that it's still here. She feels that it's such a viable part of the community. And I keep saying she because actually officially I'm retired. I at 65, I decided I had put in
for the kickback.
But a little secret, family business is all about family. So anytime my sister needs me, anytime Afro World needs me, and the fact that I love Afro World and I love St. Louis, I'll never truly be able to retire. But I do have other things that are going on. I want the radio show to really be great this year. I'm looking for more movement to us becoming healthier, happier, wealthier, and most importantly, safer through this 2023.
Thanks. So let me ask you this, Victor. As you've been on this long journey, what do you think has been your greatest challenge?
Me.
Elaborate.
My greatest challenge is me. Racism, inequality, unfairness, injustice, all of those things are almost an inherent part of growing up. What has to be so important in life is self-discovery. So early in my life, I had so many problems, so many things I didn't understand, so many challenges. Everybody said I was wrong. I was always making the wrong decisions as far as everybody else was concerned. And it was very concerning for me, and I was always the concern of everybody else. Oh my God, what's going to happen to him? Oh my God, he's in Wellston. He'll never do anything in Wellston. Oh my God, he's in the ghetto. We don't know what the people in the ghetto are going to do. And they made me nervous.
Said, hold on, y'all making me nervous.
So as a young person, I had to develop some sense of peace. And I did that through reading self-help books. One of my first books was Dr. Robert Schuller. And it was just the foundation of, reading about myself, discovering myself. Iyanla Vanzant, another one of my favorite authors, Deepak Chopra. I started studying and meditating and understanding more about my spiritual self and my inner self and what part I was to play here in the world. We all have a purpose, and discovering purpose was very important for me. If you're just going along life, just living life as it is and just letting things hit you as it comes, life can tear you up. It can beat you down. So if we take a journey, so much going on the outside, take some time to discover some things on the inside. Read,
Yeah.
read. It's very important. Calm your mind.
Yes.
Good book. Read a good Black book. Who's your favorite Black author? Who's who do you know besides Maya Angelou?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you listen to? Do you only listen to rap music? Is that your only
Okay.
form of
Mm-hmm.
allowing what you look? And do you know that whatever you repeat to yourself, you become?
Yes.
So, what if you repeated the
Yes.
encyclopedia? What if you repeated something really good and positive and inspiring to yourself? There's a lot of ways to change our
Yes.
circumstances, a lot of way to change. I want us to love one another more. I want us to get back to that. There was a time when I talk about those 60s and 70s, there was a time where love was a bigger foundation, was a bigger part of our community and our lives. When you could walk down the street and somebody else's mother could chastise you and not get beat up for trying to get you to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm.
So things have changed, but we as a community have to realize the change. We have to stay observant. But more importantly, I think it is work on yourself. Realize
Yes.
you can't fix the world.
Definitely.
You cannot. I'm gonna repeat that because I did that for a long time, figuring like I had to fix somebody. I had to fix somebody. And I realized that what I really needed to do was work on me. That if I could become a better example for other people to follow, that I wouldn't have to work on them so much because I'm
Yes.
spending time working on me. You will find that Victor Little spends a whole lot of time working on me because I'm very easily distracted by all the other things that are going on in the world.
Right. And man, it's so profound you said that. Man, it's just like that's how I live my life. Like you can't fix nobody else. They have to work on themselves. Like you have to work on you. And just like you said, like I'm from Arlington and Wales. So, people used to say that too. I'm like, made me think, dang, I can't survive. But I started, like you said, working on myself. I started reading once I started reading books, I read like Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think Rich, Grow Rich, The Richest Man in Babylon. Once I read all those books, I started becoming more like wealthy and everything. What I'm saying? It's like my mindset started changing. I stopped thinking like a poor person and, start thinking about, okay, I need to create this generational wealth and everything. So what you saying is so true and people really need to hear that for real.
Thank you, brother. And I agree with you. And I love to see young people that are looking more toward the future. I just like to say, there is a lot going on in our community right now. I'm troubled by a lot of the things. When I watch, there's so many young people out now, and I'm not. This is not harping on young people, but I'm trying to be empathetic. I'm watching y'all, and I'm saying, that's not the way.
Exactly.
18-year-olds, they out stealing cars and they
Yes, I agree.
getting shot and they getting locked up and losing their lives and running down the street with guns and feeling like that's the only way that they can prove themselves as a man or to get respect. And all of these things are so damaging.
Yes.
We're looking at these immediate fixes to problems. And
Mm.
life, I like to think of life as long term, y'all. I like to
Yes.
think of it as a long range journey,
Yes.
not an
Yes.
18-year,
Yeah.
hop in
Lifespan.
and hop out.
Yes.
Life
Yes.
ain't no short term thing. Let's
No.
focus. Let's focus. Let's realize what, okay, you stepped on my shoe. Guess what? I'm going to live another day. I'm going to go buy me
Exactly. Exactly. Go buy me another. I'm not for the block.
Guess
Hey, why you
what?
step on my shoe?
Yeah, guess what? Guess what? You took my boyfriend. You took my wife.
Exactly.
I'm gonna go get me another one. Guess what? I'm
Exactly.
I'm not gonna. I just want us to come up with better solutions, better
Yes.
ways of handling things because life is a journey.
Yes.
It's not a little short in and out. And even this journey that I talk about, life is again. I am 66 years old. This has not been enough time. I'm just getting to the point where I'm understanding what's important in life and how I fit in and maybe what my true purpose is and all of that. And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm too old to do that anymore. I should have done that when I was 30.
Exactly.
I should have done that when I was 40.
Mm-hmm.
You're 67. Now you got to figure out, how you're gonna stay off this walker and this wheelchair, and how you're gonna stay off the diabetes machine, and how you're gonna keep your blood pressure under check. And what I'm saying is, if you think about this stuff at 30,
yes, you won't have to worry about it down the line.
Just come with me, 18-year-olds. Come with me for a minute. If you think about this now, how am I going to ensure that I'm healthy when I'm as old as Brother Little? I still want to be able to get up and go to the gym if I want to. A lot of people don't realize that. We talk about losing weight. You can get too fat that you can't even get up and go to the gym to lose the weight. Don't let that happen.
Facts.
That ain't no joke.
Facts.
That's the truth. You can't wait till things become so bad that you can't do something about it. Do it now.
Yep.
I have not been to the gym this year. I am the guru of fitness. I have not been to the gym this year.
I'm the guru of fitness.
But guess what? I've had a bad leg. I've had some other things going on in my life. But I make sure that I get some form of exercise in, even when I'm at home. I got my little weights. I get them. I walk around the house with them. I make sure I take the stairs instead of taking the elevator. I make sure I park a little further away. I watch the things that I eat. I don't stay in the fast food lines. I don't. I'm not a big fast food person, though. That's how I grew up. I had to relearn how to do that.
Yes. Yeah.
That McDonald's was not my best friend. That the $2 special is not my friend. That there's nothing in there that's going to nourish me and help me become this healthy 67-year-old that I aspire to be this year. None of that's going to show up in the fast food line. So it's a lot about how we think, but I want you to focus a little bit about not how you think about the world, but how do you think about yourself? What do you care enough about yourself to change the way you eat, to change your sleeping habits, to change what you put into your body, to change in how you care for your body, to actually call the doctor? Come on now, y'all gonna hate this one. Call the doctor and make an appointment to go see them before you get sick.
Exactly.
That's a new fact. That's a new. Now we as black men, we go to the doctor, but we gonna go kicking and screaming, in pain, because we didn't waited too late. There's no preventive stuff going on.
Yes.
Change that. Yeah. Go in and let them tell you ain't nothing wrong. Ain't nothing wrong, Mr. Little. You're in great shape. Man, you one of my healthiest clients. I love when you come in. That's what I want my doctor to tell me.
Hey man, look, I started learning my body too, so I know when I need to go to the doctor and everything. I just started going back to the gym Sunday. So yeah, so right now I'm going every year. So I'm trying to, get myself back up there too. So I feel exactly what you're saying.
Congratulations. I'm proud of you, brother.
All right. So what would you say has been your greatest accomplishment on your journey?
Ooh, I like that. So I'm a little different. I don't really. It's hard for me to tell you what I've done in my past, not because I'm not proud of it, but I'm always looking for what I can do next, what I can do, and it always has to do with building my community. What can I do next for legacy, to make things a little easier for the next generation that's coming? So I will say that whatever I have accomplished in my life, it's been through the support of my family and my community and the friends that I have surrounded myself with. So I will attribute success to them and my education at Central State University. Yes. Changed my life. It was wonderful. But what I see forward is I see us becoming more active and more engaged in our own personal lives that will allow us to be a better beacon for others that are around us, that are looking for a way out, they're looking for a light. And I challenge each of you out there to work on yourself, become the light so that other people will have a vision of direction that reflects good things that are available in life. Because the bad things will come, but the good things you have to look for.
Facts. What advice would you give to someone who wants to, I guess, venture off and start their own business?
So you go back to my first chapter, you find a need and fill it. Don't just start a business because you think, oh, this is going to be fun. You know, we finna make a lot of money and we're finna set the world on fire. Really do your homework. Number one, observe other people's businesses. Before I ever call myself a business person, I used to go into other businesses and find out how they ran their business. And a lot of things you can't find out what they're doing behind the scenes. So a lot of those things are going to come in experience. But find out, number one, discover what you're good at. Yeah. Discover what you're good at. That's important. So, don't open a restaurant if you can't cook. Don't open a barbershop if you can't cut hair. Don't open a veterinarian shop if you don't like animals. I mean, find out what you're good at.
Yes.
And this sounds like a joke, but I know a lot of people who are in businesses that they are no good at. So the first thing you want to do is discovery, self-discovery. What am I good at?
Yes.
The other thing, what's your passion? Again, it's part of self-discovery. What do you really enjoy doing?
Yes.
If you can find something you really enjoy doing, it will feel every day like you are not at work.
Yes.
Right. That sounds so cliche.
No, it's the truth, right here. I'm a witness.
So many people, we go to jobs and we actually look for jobs based on what is the top dollar that this job is paying. I know because I've done it. I got my degree and I went with that degree in my hand and I didn't want nobody to talk to me unless this job was paying more than XXX amount of dollars. You wasn't hollering at me. And then I got in there and I realized I hated it. I hated the people. I hated the responsibilities. I hated the attitudes. Every morning I'm waking up ready, going to work. Now, you can make a lot of money that way, but you can also shorten your life. You can increase your health disparities. You can create heart attacks and strokes and all of that just by going into someplace every day that you hate. So again, I'm all about the entrepreneurial spirit. I believe that we all have the ability to develop a business, but we don't all have the ability to develop a successful business. But you can. Again, find something that people really need, and find a way to provide it for them in a very convenient manner is two of the foundations, and then, the rest goes in there, the prices. One of the biggest things right now is in the transportation, you could, have a beautiful business, but if you can't get your products there, if there's something going on in Iraq, Iran, Germany, wherever, if there is a problem there where the transportation can't get through, shipping is a problem, and that happened not only for Afro World but for many businesses. Remember when we couldn't get a mask? You were asking about masks.
Yeah, definitely, yep.
We couldn't get a mask, and it had nothing to do with how much money you had. It had nothing to do
Nope.
with whether you were a store owner or your customers needed it. So imagine being a store where that was your only product that you sold. I sell masks. That's what I do. And so I'm waiting on my big shipment of masks to come in, and they're fighting over in Ukraine, so I can't get my mask. Wow. But that's an unexpected business problem that happens, and it happens all the time in business. What about you get the mask and they're not the right size, they're not the right color, you know, or they're infected. But what if all your masks were infected with E. coli or you know what I'm saying? Yeah, there's so many things, so many unexpected things that go into business. So, you know, make your decisions wisely. But there is no greater freedom than running your own business. Than there's no greater freedom. To me, it's thrilling.
Yes.
To me, it's wonderful. But you have to enjoy that. You know, I love that thing of customers coming in and asking me as the expert, you know, oh, I don't know, what is this pattern or what is this fabric, or, you know, I've never worn African and I think I'll look silly, or, you know, I've been doing it for 40 years, so it's very exciting for me. Oh my God, let me show you how to do it. You know, I want to get married, but I'm not sure, you know, if let me do it for you, you know.
Yeah.
That's very exciting. But for some people, this would be the most boring job in the world, you know.
Yeah, but you
so
love
you have
it.
to find something that fits you.
Yes.
You know. But entrepreneurship is the way to go. The Smart People Network, we're doing a lot of things to help small businesses. We're trying to get businesses together and utilize people like myself who've been in business for 40 years, but there are many people much more skilled and much more educated than me that are part of the Smart People Network, with the Bishop Michael Bates, Stacey Lang. And what we're trying to do is build up community, build up. So we'll have a network of businesses helping businesses grow, prosper, become wealthy and healthy together.
So, Mr. Victor Little, do you have anything coming up or anything that you want to promote?
Yes, I'm an actor. Of course I do. So of course I want everybody to please look out for this year, my radio show, The Victor Little Show, the Black Health and Wellness broadcast. I'll be coming back this year with a lot of great guests and information on how we can stay healthy. I'm also going to change the focus this year and talk a little bit more about business and family business and how we can work together as a family business, but also some of the challenges that you might have, and try to be more of a mentor for new people, new families that are starting businesses and want to know how to stay in for the long haul. So, you know, after 50 years in the game, we feel like we have some things to share and offer, but most importantly, will you all please come by and support Afro World this Black History Month. We have Black History Month coming up. We will be starting in February, of course, but you know, it starts now. We want to make sure we have your right sizes and the right colors, and you know, if your whole family want to dress all in the same tribal uniform, we want to.
I'm gonna be there. Y'all got dashikis and everything.
Ooh,
I'm gonna be there.
You know, we got some.
I'm coming.
I have some custom things that I'm able to provide for you, and I do look forward to you coming, brother. Look forward to that.
You have my word.
Thank you. Come by Afro World, see some of the great things that we have. Support my sister, Sheila Little Forrest. She's doing an amazing job. I'm so proud of her. Continue to support her, to support Afro World, and to continue to build St. Louis in a vision that better reflects us.
All right. So, Mr. Victor Little, my last question that I like to always ask my guests: when it is all over and you are long gone from this earth, what is it that you want the people to know about Victor Little?
I I would like people to know that my love for my community was genuine. That, it was never about me. It was always about my community. And how proud I am to be a part of the family that I'm a part of. I'm so proud of my mother and dad and what they created with Afro World. I'm proud of my sister. Just proud of my family. So if we have done anything to reflect as a family who loves one another and who trusts God in all respects, then job well done.
Nice. And I want to thank you, Mr. Victor Little, man. We had a great conversation, man. You dropped a lot of nuggets, a lot of jewels that the Black people need to hear for real. Man, you've done a lot of great things, and just hearing you talk let me know that I'm on my right path also, because I start implementing this stuff in my life, and everything has been going great. So I thank you for that, and more people need to hear this for real.
Well, I've seen your shows before, and I want you to know I am very proud of you. I want you to continue on your successful journey, and certainly, if in any way I can help, please don't hesitate to call because we are family. Thank you, brother.
No
Appreciate it.
problem. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be reaching out to you. I mean what I said too. I want you in one of my films. I see a vision.
Thank you, brother.
All right, and I'll definitely be in touch, and I will let you know when we publish this also.
It's my pleasure. Have a great day, and thank you so much for inviting me.
Okay, you too. Thank you. Bye-bye.